This is Zack Murphy from Starkville, Mississippi. Thank you for listening to Game Notes 8 on Crown Refs TV. Serve the game.
Before we get started, just super excited to do this. I'm thankful. I've been with you for a long time, since the Mr. Pink days.
Yeah, I know.
All that stuff. So yeah, it's just full circle.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, bro. I know, since like 2018, I noticed your name popping up, and we've been going back and forth, and to now finally, work with you one-on-one, watch your game, be able to chop it up, and give back as much as I can, one-to-one. I know I put out a lot of stuff for the public, but my one of my cup of teas is just coaching, So small group,
Yeah.
one-to-one. That's where you're going to get the most value is when I'm contextualizing the information for you specifically. So yeah, and the report, you got a chance to look it over and everything, digest it.
Yeah, I went through the game a few times, and definitely have some plays I want to talk about, with the timestamps. So yeah, just ready to dive in.
Awesome. All right, I got your game here. Let me pull it up. And I like to just we'll probably just run through kind of each play or each timestamp.
Yeah.
I think there's value whether we talk about it for 30 seconds or we go on for a couple minutes. So and again, if you have any questions or fire them at me.
Yeah, maybe just one thing before we get started. We talked about, or actually you wrote about confidence. And so I was actually told this when I was in Atlanta this past weekend, that I'm kind of a laid back guy, and that kind of translates to the court, which is good in a lot of scenarios. But as you said, and I've been told a couple of times, I need to be able to step up. So what are your, I guess it's probably play specific, but how do you translate to the court, and how do you kind of step up and rise to the moment?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's not an easy one to answer because you hear this kind of feedback from various people, and then you're trying to figure out where you insert it, right? Where you pick your spots to
Right.
You don't just come out onto the court flexing, like,
Yeah.
and I'm told this a lot too, like, yo, you're too laid back. Like, you need some oomph. I hear that a lot at camp. I don't hear that much during the regular season, when you need that kind of poise, but it's just trying to find the balance between staying calm, staying poised, staying focused and locked in. But then when those step up moments of the game occur, whether it's an extra oomph you got to add to your signal, whether it's a little bit more volume you got to use when you're talking to two players, whether you're just standing taller when you're speaking in the coach's personal space, like it's just finding that opportunity when to insert yourself and just when to be a little bit louder with whether it's your voice or your actions. You're just showing that court presence,
Yeah.
And then you kind of, once you're done, then you're back to poise mode, and then each game is different. You may not have to use it a lot in game number one. Game number two, it might be totally different, So it just depends on the game. It depends on the play, but just finding that balance, knowing, all right, yeah, for most of the time, I want to be super hyper aware, super focused, laid back, right? Ready to slowing down. But then the second I got to step up, come out of my shell, so to speak, it's like, wow, okay, everybody knows you're there.
Yeah.
We get complimented a lot when fans or coaches or players are like, oh, I didn't even know you guys were there. That's a great compliment. On the flip side of that is a good compliment. But on the flip side of that, we wanna show them they're there in these scenarios where we're running the game.
It's like you said, I believe it was Mark Davis. You want to be disinterested, not uninterested.
Such a good one, right?
Dude, I love watching Mark Davis. But yeah, and even though he's really laid back, you always know he's there. He's the authority figure. So a lot of stuff to gain from him. Yeah.
Yeah, disinterested meaning we have no emotional attachment to the end result of the game, but not uninterested, right? We love it. It's our passion. We're passionate about it, but we're disinterested in the outcome, which creates ultimate fairness for us and what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good
Yeah.
stuff. All right, let's check out some plays. I know you've probably heard me say this before, but hold the ball like a waiter because we're here to serve the game. Don't hold the ball at your hip like a 1971 gym teacher. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's so simple, but it literally looks amazing when you just stand there nice and tall and you're just holding the ball up, kind of just waiting for the game to happen. I just think it's such a strong professional look, and I'm to the point when I watch other officials and I see them do that, I'm like, oh, this person can work. Versus if I see them lugging the ball around on their hip, I'm like, nah. Nah.
Yeah.
You know, that might not be
I did that
100% valid to everybody, but it's just a hunch that I have.
Right. Yeah. Next weekend I worked. You know, obviously I went through all these points and I focused on a couple of things each game, and yeah, that definitely makes a difference.
Okay.
This is the play I wanted to talk about. You said I had a patient whistle.
I do like
you like the timing?
I really like the timing of it because you kind of just waited for everything to be complete, I think.
My question to you, do you like the call?
First instinct, I liked it. But as I rewound it, I just focused on the defender. And I don't know if he actually contacted him with his non-vertical arms. It looked like he just kind of jumped straight up. And offensive player having to create all that space with the behind the back move, a little bit off balance. So, you know, naturally he might fall down if he's jumping into contact. Plus look at the size differentials between the two players as well. I think we could have been fine with a no call. What do you think?
That's what I think. I did the same thing as you. You know, first glance, you're like, yeah, that's a foul. But then I rewound it like 20 times, and it's just, I mean, I have him going off 2 feet, and he jumps vertically. I don't think he contacts him on the way down.
That's a really good screenshot here. And let's just analyze this for a second. I know a rule of thumb that I've stated, and you've probably heard it on a couple podcasts, is on block shot plays, let's look at who jumps higher. That's a great indicator of who's going to win that play, right? If it's a good defensive play, it's going to be no foul or a block. Or if the offense jumps higher, it's probably going to be a foul or a bucket. Well, in this case, it's not even close, right? So the question is, did he jump forward into him prior to this? Probably not. And the other question I had was that arm that starts here, I know he tries to swat down. And that's a motion where that triggers us to blow the whistle a lot of times, but it's still got to do something. He still has to hit. He still has to contact the offensive player. It can't be a swing and miss. And a lot of times with that non-vertical play, it's a swing and miss. So it gives us the perception that he might have pushed him because of that motion, that illegal motion, so to speak, because he did lose his verticality maybe for a second here. You know, he's just reaching for the ball. I don't know. Why did you blow the whistle? What was the contact that made you blow it?
Honestly, the arm that is on our side goes down, right? And so I'm kind of stacked to that arm. And so I see the motion with the arm, and I see him end up on the ground, and it's a bit of a guess. I mean, it's an ugly play, you know. So I mean, looking back on it on film, I don't think it's a foul, but I think that's why I blew. Is I maybe reacted to what happened instead of actually seeing the contact.
I mean, you're not going to really get hurt by this one.
Yeah,
it's a really good play to look at, actually, because it's a common theme. Like I was saying, the non-vertical swatting motion, where it raises our antennas, but it's still has to be illegal contact, right?
Right. Even the coach for that team, he told him it was a foul. He said, like right here, he's telling him, ref, tell him. So yeah, I mean, even the coach for that player that fouled thought it was a foul.
You look unsure with your walk. Like you're thinking, like
I
thinking.
was thinking.
Yeah, I can tell you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm like, I know I want to go look at that.
All right, so just the way you're reporting, I like the push, I like the numbers there, but I think it could be a little bit smoother with the way you raise your arms and present those numbers. It's a little robotic. You pretty much just raise them up and hold them. I want to see them. I want to see you shoot them out. I want to see your fingers shoot out of your hands.
Yeah. And I think it's a bit quick too. I think I could probably slow down.
You're in and out. You're in and out. Push, two, gone. So yeah, we can just slow that down. We're talking about like a second.
Yeah.
We're talking about slowing down for 1.5 or 2 seconds. That's an easy thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. All right, I thought you had a pretty good sequence of no calls here off a rebound. Good verticality there. Another little loud play. I like that you're calm and collected. I don't know. I wrote down, we might have to position adjust a little bit there because the ball's kind of pinballing back around. You looked pretty comfortable. Did you have 100% open look throughout that entire sequence?
I felt like I had a good look. I did not have a good look really on this first rebound because it was on trails primary.
Right.
So I probably could have adjusted maybe in anticipation for something right there. The second rebound, had a good look at that, I believe.
All right, so again, we don't want to call through the paint, but once you see that the ball is across the paint, I want you to just take a step towards the play. You remain stagnant.
Right, just close down.
Yeah. Just take one step, either towards the play or a little closer to the baseline. Just going to give you a little bit more connectivity when reffing this play. And we don't want to guess on this play. You're going to let the the trail live and die with it, especially if the contact is up or on the outside. If it comes and opens up to you more or the contact is low, then the whole calling through the paint thing isn't as valid, right? Because it's opening up to you. You might have the best look on it. But listen, you might have had a great look the whole time. I just want you to keep in mind that, like right here, like you'd be fighting for angles a little bit there,
Yeah.
Kind of moving with the play.
Yeah, and you talked about balancing the ball on the inline. This was not actually a directive from this tournament, but another tournament I was at this summer wanted us to bounce the ball just for precautionary reasons.
Yeah, I wrote that's a COVID rule change.
Yeah.
I noticed you guys.
And you talked about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you good.
Oh, you talked about maybe we're using pro mechanics. My partner is a Division I and Pro-Am official.
Okay.
And she works on her Pro-Am stuff, I believe, in the summer.
Gotcha.
And so I was just kind of following lead, I was taking it all in.
Listen, if you do Pro-Am, I mean, these are the games that you want to practice your stuff.
Yeah.
If you're doing a different level. All right, 21-30.
This one definitely. This was as soon as I blew the whistle, I was like, man.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I don't like that. No.
You stopped the play because it got a little too loud.
Exactly. It was a game interrupter.
All right, so right here, I don't even see you.
Right.
This is another example. And one of the main things that stood out with your report and things that I want you to grow on is just simple positioning. Especially in lead, you're a little too deep, you're a little too wide. And in this case, you're not even visible. And what you're looking at is you're looking at white number 7, right? You see his back. And then you don't see the player in blue, any great information about the player in blue, right? Right now it looks like there's 4 hands on the ball. But I don't think I could even tell if I was where you were. So
no, I mean I was guessing right there.
Yeah.
And 7 was one of their better players too. So it was just a breakdown in game awareness, I think.
Yeah.
And guessing.
Don't let the moment own you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
We ref these like loud plays, just loud, hard plays. Don't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop them unless you need to stop them. Let them play out. A lot of times they'll give us the answer. So in here, you were patient, you let it play out, and it was just your decision was incorrect, I thought. I think if you stop the clock and just go jump ball, point the other way, play on, good to go. You know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think if you're a little bit more connected to this play, if you close down, you're going to have more information. It's going to help your decision making. Makes sense, right?
Right. And we talked about this in the game. I mean, she basically told me the same thing. You know, just if I was a second later or, 2 seconds later, like you said, jump ball, play on. So.
Yep. Good stuff.
The next play here is one that we can change the angle on and take a look at it. So from this angle, you probably won't see any contact at the 2440 mark. Right, so that's tough to see. If you...
I know what happened. Can I make a prediction?
What you get?
The defender's left arm pushed off as his right arm was going to contest it. Did he give him a little chuck with the left arm? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
All right. All right. How do we change it again?
All right. So if you go out of full screen, let's see here. Yeah. Now you see the smart court camera right there, and it says smart tracker. Right, click on that. Go to, I believe, court view is the angle. Now, there's a lot of angles.
This is a crazy system.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better.
See, people want to referee from their couch so much. They just don't have all the information. Like, you need to see this north to south play in order to see the point of contact. From the couch, we're given one angle. And then we make our crazy judgments on what we think, and we form these opinions. That's why I just you got to trust the polling official. This all gets just back to trust in your partners. All right, so let's take.
So watch it here and tell me what you think.
Wow. Okay, absolutely.
You like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a little too much of an extension at the end. He wasn't.
And he's already in the he's in the air. He's already off balance, and he can't control his body. So I didn't think he was making that natural motion without being pushed. He's not going to jump like that.
Again, you're a little quick at the table here. So let's get back to the contact. If he's going to keep his arm here, he was good, I thought, for most of the play, and that arm was more of like bracing for impact. But then at the end, it's just a chuck, and it obviously affects the shot. So, and again, really good timing here. I like your poise. I like your demeanor. Just a little bit quick here, reporting at the table.
And you mentioned it here. Definitely should have been a push instead of a block.
Right.
But the foul was correct, I believe. But right, wrong signal.
Yeah, we don't want to call a block when the play happened in the air. I think a block is a grounded play. Block charges are grounded plays. If it's contact in the air, it's very difficult to block somebody in the air. Right. So yeah, I think push, or in college we got the A to B motion, but I think this is push straight up. Wow, really great angles. Oh, so 27-13, I wrote, don't call through the paint. I'm really happy you called this play because the lead, cannot see the point of contact, looking through the paint, looking through bodies. So I thought you showed really good discipline on this play. Again,
there may be some contact.
It's a contact sport.
Right, but
Is it illegal or incidental?
I mean, pretty vertical. Maybe at the very end, he kind of swats down, but
Yeah, but you're absolutely not going to see that from lead.
no,
Um,
no, I
but
had no look at that.
one thing you could do better a little bit here is just showing that urgency again, closing down, knowing that you have a play across the paint. You're a little bit vulnerable in your positioning. So you can look at all that open space right here. I mean, listen,
Yeah,
you can even go to the middle if you want to. You
yeah,
can,
especially in a two-person.
you have this area to work with if you absolutely need it. I mean, very rarely in a two-person game am I going to cross the paint, but I may step down right into the middle here if I need to for a couple seconds. And this is a good case of, I mean, it's just you're a little lax here.
Yeah,
And again, we're breaking down a micro moment of this game. This is a 2-second moment where I'm saying so don't take this the wrong way, but like, you know, when we spoke about earlier in the session about when we could show that step up moment, this isn't really necessarily a step up moment because we're just talking about you closing down, but this is a way to show a little bit more engagement, I think, and show like with your head. Like I like looking up and down a play. Like I'm not saying I pop my head up and down, but like guys, you know, has the ball low and he's going up with it. Like I'm literally processing up, down, you know?
yeah.
Al said, what did Al say about getting
Up, down, rebound.
Reffing at the top of your eyes?
Yeah.
So I just think it's a good engaged look to show that little bit of head movement when you're processing. I'll say that again. Just showing that little bit of head movement or just that engaged look when you're processing a play. Like when you're determining, is this a foul or a no call? It's a good look. I watch referees. I took this from one of my coaches, and again, he's just staring up and down, no calling a play, but everybody knows that he's processing or he's really making a ruling on the play.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good job not guessing. 3-person game, that's going to be the center's play, and in 2-person, you're going to give it up to the trail there. Yeah, again, ball's opposite the basket line. When the ball's opposite the basket line, we always want to be in the B position, which is close to this lane line here. So as the drive's coming, again, you got to show a little bit more engagement as the play's opening up to you instead of just kind of being a little laid back.
Right. In some later games, yeah, this was definitely something I worked on, closing down and being a little more engaged after I read the IPR. So definitely good stuff there.
And just to piggyback off that last point about that engaged look, here's another play to show that engaged look that you're reffing, saw it, made your decision, called it, we're moving on. It's just presence.
Yeah, it's just, appearing, like you said, engaged and knowledgeable and confident. And I think a lot of these little things that you do, like, closing down and your head up and down, that's going to all add to your presence.
Absolutely. And it looks more confident. So when people are looking at you, maybe questioning why you didn't blow the whistle, but then they look and you're looking all engaged versus just kind of chilling. You know? Like if you call a play and I'm the head coach and I look at you wanting a call and I see your demeanor versus that engaged look, I'm going to believe you more. I'm going to look at you and say, oh, okay, he was there. He looked like he was reffing the play. I'm going to say that in my head. This is just perception. This is what coaches think.
Yeah. I knew this in the moment, man. This is, we talked about the open hand. Immediately when I did it, I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the call, like you said. I mean, easy charge call here, but.
Oh, how long you been reffing?
This is, if we have a season this year, this will be my 4th season.
And just tell me, like, emotionally, your mental game, like, about mistakes. What's your relationship with mistakes and getting plays wrong and like looking bad on film? Like, how do you process that? Is that
Well, to be honest, I love making a mistake in a game, especially in summer. I know that sounds weird, but I say that because I can go and look at it and it's like, all right,
yeah,
made that mistake. Next time I'm going to be thinking, okay, me and Paul talked about that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm going to do this instead. And so, it's great.
That's a great mentality. Don't like the point I'm trying to make is don't beat yourself up over incorrect calls. I've spent way too much time in my life in past years being frustrated about a play that happened 2 weeks ago or a play that happened last night or something a player said to me that I'm still thinking about. If you can get to the point where you are unaffected, I mean emotionless about your mistakes, take the good out of them. Like you said, you're going to go watch it. You're going to extract the value that you need from the mistake in order to go apply it the next time. But don't walk away upset. Like, yo, it's just a game. It's a mistake. You made the wrong call or whatever, and you have another opportunity. It's the referees that can move on the quickest. That mistake recovery strategy, right? We've heard those lines before. Just so, and I know you're young, and this is a natural thing. All referees, beat themselves up at some point. But I want you to get to the point sooner. Do it now while you're still young, and it seems like you're really on the right track where you're just unaffected. Like, you're not upset that you made an incorrect call in a 15-year-old AAU game on a Sunday,
Yeah.
or a league game,
Yeah, man. I'll say my first couple of seasons, I wasn't really serious or passionate about it. And so I was just going through the motions, and if somebody would give me criticism, I would kind of take it personally. But then my third season, which I guess was this past season, I saw it as something that I wanted to do. And, I developed a passion for it. And so at that point, it was like if somebody was telling me something, especially a veteran, it's like, okay, they've been in that position before. Somebody probably told them the same thing. And so I'm just going to take it to heart. So, yeah, it does not hurt my feelings. I mean, if I blow up a play and you're going to tell me, man, this was just, you need to do this and that, I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, so
good.
I'm good.
Sounds like you're really on the right track. You're ahead of the game, my friend.
Appreciate that.
All right, what do we got?
Next one was a technical foul. Also,
yes,
really quick on that. It seems to be a theme. I'm quick at the table.
Oh, wait.
It's really fast. Yeah, don't blink.
Let's go to 44. Let's go player control first.
Okay.
All right, you have a player control foul coming up. Take me through this play.
Pretty simple. Sometimes block charge plays can be difficult, but this one was pretty easy. Defender's there. He's legal. 2 feet on the floor, chest facing his opponent.
Okay. Let me stop you right there. You're saying all the right things. But look at where you're looking.
Let me see. I'm going to watch it on my end. What am I looking at? Am I watching the ball?
Who are you looking at? You're looking
looks like I'm watching the ball.
Yeah, you're watching the ball. You got to be watching the defense right here. So you should be looking at number 3 while still having the ball within your periphery. But as you're running down the court, especially in plays that we get beat, go to the last defender, the defender that can hurt you the most. In this case, number 3 is the guy who's involved in the play. So we want to be locked in on him, so we're not guessing upon contact. We want to have the answer. We want to have the answer before we make the decision. How do we do that? By judging the legality of the defender. If we can say, all right, defender's legal, and then we have a crash, you already know what your answer is. You're not even thinking about it because you've made the pre-call. you've certified the defender's legal. Now you have that crash to and through, easy call. Whereas we're watching the offensive player, then we have a crash. It's more of a guess. It's reactionary.
Right. Yeah, I've used that self-talk. Maybe I wasn't doing it here, but I've used that definitely on fast break. Like, okay, who's going to hurt me? And, you know, obviously in the scenario, should have been 3.
I like it. I like it. As far as the signaling, did you see what you did with the open hand?
Yeah, open hand. That's the thing I was talking about. I knew when I did the open hand, I was like, you know, should have been a fist.
Is that a one-time deal for you, or is that your style?
It's not a one-time thing. It's a bad habit. I don't do it every time, but it's something I'm trying to work on.
That's
I'm not sure. It's just a bad habit I've developed.
You'll see, very rarely you'll see pros. They'll stop they'll on their block charge play or on their punch. They'll stop it with like 2 hands sometimes, or 1 hand. That's like a pro thing. So obviously this is very simple. You know, you got to stop the clock with a fist.
Yeah.
Now,
also, probably would have liked to have the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, is this just for block charge plays where you have this kind of thing going on?
That's it. That's it. And if I've got a block, I don't do it. But if I see that I'm going to have a charge, and especially sometimes if it sneaks up on me, like what this play did, that's when I'm, you know, versus if I'm on the defender, I'm not like, ooh, you know, I gotta have something right there.
Yeah, so you just got to slow this down a little bit. I just think this is a timing thing. Just take an extra second off this play. I mean, I liked your point there. If you would have just stopped it with a fist and pointed, I like that style for a charge. I know in the NCAA they want you to go behind the head now, but I think that's a good option. The fist right to the point.
Yeah, you did it's been a little bit now, but you did a 3 charge options or signal. You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do. So, yeah, I like to give options.
The only thing maybe, if I'm being super nitpicky, is I would have liked to go with the outside hand there.
Okay. You also have the wave off as an option, especially on a made basket. This is the one time where I'll insert the wave off on my charge if we have a made basket, just to add an extra layer of clarity that I'm waving it off, because you'll hear fans get excited. They think it's an N1.
Yeah.
So that clear communication there at that moment is going to let everybody in the gym know, nope, I'm going that way. Wipe it.
Gotcha.
All right, let's get juicy. Technical foul play. Let's go.
A lot of stuff I want to talk about with this one.
Great. All right, so we got a fast break situation here. We got a strip or no call. Okay, he wanted a foul. What did he curse at you?
Okay, so no, it was on, I forget, what's his number here? The player that potentially fouled number 7 white. Is that 3? Is that 5?
This guy.
Yes, that guy. So here's what I had, and then we can break it down. But he cursed at the player in white. Pretty loud, I would say, but did the bench hear it? I don't really know. But at the moment, you know, in the game, that's what I had. Cursing at the player loud enough for the bench to hear it. So I stuck him.
I mean, the bench doesn't have to hear it.
Right.
You know, don't let it slide if you're the only one that hears it. If it's
yeah, I've heard different opinions.
Not at you.
If it's something.
I mean.
No, yeah. Well, so it was not at me. It was at the player. So he was. Yeah. So I mean, what do you have? You just tell me.
Well, what did he say? Take me through it. You don't have to say the curse, but.
Yeah, well, he was saying, "Give me that," and then. So yeah, I mean that's what I had.
Yeah, that's easy. There's really nothing to discuss.
Gotcha.
We run the game. We have to maintain the respect of the game and make sure all participants are respecting the game. So this is something so simple, especially in 15-year-old AAU ball. The lower level, the lower down you go, the less tolerance we have for any kind of trash talk. Right?
Yeah,
the higher
and that's
you're naturally going to let them play a little bit more. You're going to give them a little bit more the higher up you go. But once we start getting to like high school ball, AAU, 8th graders, like it's zero tolerance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that's the policy that I have had, and I've heard at this event from just different people with different personalities. Maybe you'll let that slide if it doesn't, if they say one thing and then they're going back down the court. The way I look at it is if you let it go and then it's going to escalate, I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm just like you, no tolerance.
Yeah. Listen, these are other officials that you're working with that are telling you?
Yes, this is, other high-level officials, and I'm trying to take what I like. You've said that a few times. Take what you like and leave out what you don't.
Yeah.
I don't like some of the advice I've heard about that. So.
Yeah. So it's important for you to be self-aware and be able to filter out the stuff you don't like and recognize when you don't like it and you're not going to take it. In this case, listen, we try to. We're here because we want to get better. We want to be great at this.
Yeah.
We're not going to get there with the AAU mentality of that mentality of we're reffing 8 games today, let that go, let that slide.
Yeah.
That's Saturday, Sunday talk for officials that are not trying to move up or be great. I don't know. We're not going to let trash talk slide or disrespect slide only if you're the only one that heard it. That concept can apply in other spots. Maybe if a coach says something to you, you're the only one that heard it, You got to pick your spots there, but I don't think that applies to players trash talking, cursing too. I mean, if there's no curse word.
Yeah. With a little more context, what I believe to be his mother, the player that I called the technical foul on, was saying that's not smart, Christian. So I mean, if you take that into context, I think it's her in the green there.
Good job, Mom. Good job, Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, finally, a little accountability.
So that just gives you a little context to how loud it was. I mean, he's on the opposite side of the paint, and she heard it over there. So
yeah, don't even question that. Like, this is not something that you should not be debating whether or not you should have called this a foul. I know you're not now, but like, it's easy.
Yeah. So I guess the next step in the play, I am kind of unsure.
Yeah.
How when I go to administer technical fouls sometimes, and so say you're in lead, walk me through what you're going to do right here.
Okay. Well, number one, I don't like to point at players that I give a technical foul to. Everybody is going to know who the technical foul is on 3 seconds later when you report it and you say it loudly. Blue 12 technical foul.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one. Also, don't be so quick to leave the scene. We just had trash talk, right? So you want to make sure the player in white is not saying anything. Is he saying something right now?
He said nothing.
Great. So I would probably go towards this player to reassure that he's not going to retaliate. So I wouldn't focus on the offender. I would go to the potential retaliator, because if he says something, then it's a double tech. If he says anything back, it's a double tech. But I want to coach him in that moment. I got this. Let me handle it. You're good. Don't say anything. All right, good. So take an extra second to referee the dead ball here, and just kind of get a feel and a vibe if anything else is going to escalate. Once it's not, then you go with certainty to the table. You're a little far reporting it here too. It seems a little unofficial.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe my one of my problems was communication with my partner about what's going down.
And also, like I said, don't get so close to the table here, because it's going to invite more conversations from coaches. It's just an easy target. It's almost like you're breaking into jail here, because you're just too close to them.
Yeah. So you're going to be maybe towards the circle, the center circle.
Yeah, I mean the reporting area. But if you notice here, you're out of bounds. You go out of bounds. I think you're about to cross the line here. What do you say? Oh, foot on the line. Yeah. Yeah, I feel really uncomfortable when I'm that close to the table reporting too. It doesn't feel natural.
I got you.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. These confusing moments with the administration of technical fouls. I'm right there with you. I don't know which end we're shooting on sometimes. Like I know who I called it on, but in that 1 second moment, I'm like, all right, which end are we going to? So it's everything is just about kind of slowing down and double and triple checking and self-talking.
Yeah.
But obviously we wanna handle these. We want to be quick with these, but not too quick to where we're rushing the dead ball officiating. But it's kind of like run the game. All right, technical foul, boom, partner. We got technical foul, blue 12, trash talk. We're gonna shoot 2. White's gonna shoot 2, and then they're gonna inbound the ball at half court. We good? We're good. All right, here we go, guys. And then you're moving.
Yeah.
You're speeding the game along.
Yeah, definitely. So in this sequence right here, it just kind of seems like we're all over the place.
Yeah, it's too long. It's too long, and it shows a little bit of uncertainty, like in these moments, because the spotlight is on us. Yeah,
it was uncertainty, definitely not in the call, but in the administration. I was lucky I had a great partner. Kylie Galloway is her name.
Say it again.
Kylie Galloway.
Hi, Kylie.
She's like as I said, D1 pro-am stuff. And a great partner to work with.
47-52 walking up the court. No need to discuss this. This is an AAU thing. This is a 6-game thing. But I will say, just don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You know, I've worked a lot of games. I recently did 8 in a day, right? Which is pretty common for like the people that are really in it, right? 8, 6, 7 games. I understand we have to preserve ourselves. I understand that, game number 6 is not competitive. It's 6th graders, not much going on. So yeah, it's not the NBA finals, but just having that perspective, knowing that you're going to hustle every game, you're going to ref every game like it's the NBA finals. That's how you're going to grow. Taking that, like ref one way all the time. You're going to make your adjustments depending on the place, the level, the play, right? You're making your adjustments, being contextual for the game in the moment. But just have that one way, like, yo, you're reffing as hard as you can every game. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter who you ref. Just like a player would, where a player, like just imagine you're a great player. You're going to go to any court and play. You're going to play against anybody, right? Indoor, outdoor, night, men's league, pro-am. Like you're just trying to be the best, right? You're just going out there. Same thing with us. Want to have that same way that we're reffing every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just the mental approach to the game. And if you'll notice, not everybody has it. Well done, it happens. But it's better to be on the other side of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also, we've been talking about this the whole session. That's going to add to your believability and court presence and, just general, what are we looking for? Confidence.
Absolutely. Coaches recognize hustle, and they recognize laziness too. All right, good call there. But what did you forget to do?
No point.
Yeah, no point. Whose ball is it? You were more concerned with getting the ball back. Don't worry about retrieving the ball, especially so quick after the play is over. Like if a person's just holding the ball and not giving it to you, then you got to be like, yo, okay, the ball, please. But in this case, like make your call first.
Yeah.
Like, handle your business.
Just finish it.
Show who the ball it is. Then you could. I don't like the look of asking for a ball. I don't know. I just don't think it's our job. I think we have other things that we could be doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, the ball's going to find you.
Ball's going to find you. I've seen some officials, whether at camps or it's like as soon as they blow the whistle or a non-calling official blows the whistle, ball, Ball. It's a little annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to find you anyway.
Oh, I like this one right here. Let's break this one down.
I remember, I think I got this off of a podcast, or, just walk the coach back.
This is really good. Oh, so you heard it off a podcast and then you applied it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was thinking that in the moment.
Great. It's great. All right, he wants to know. He wants information. What's up? He wants information. Walking towards you. Not yet. Are you still talking, having a long talk? Uncomfortable anytime coaches are trying to speak in that far of a distance. So if they're going to go on for more than like a couple words, then we got to address it. He's walking towards you. Right away, walk him back. Yep, he's too far. Yep. Walk him back. Come on, coach. I wouldn't even, and that whole time you're walking him back, you're not talking about the play.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I was like, okay, we'll talk about it. Let's go back to your area.
Yep. And you don't have to, he's going to follow you. He's not going to stand out on the court. So you can kind of lead the way there. And like with your hand, I like the hand motion. It shows like good service to the game, I think. It shows that you're a gentleman. You gave him the gentleman's hand. But that's a really good job. Really good technique there. So I want like all the officials watching to do that same thing in that situation. You see that coach, and they like to do it here. And this is a form of showing us up, right? They're walking onto the court. They're supposed to be in their coach's box. Why are they on the court? And they're doing it to come complain or argue. A lot of times the coaches call the timeout. In this case, he didn't call the timeout, but you've seen those plays where they purposely call timeout and start walking toward
and they want to complain.
So this is a good, this is a step up moment right here that we talked about. This is a great way to show that leadership, that assertiveness, and the ability to run the game here. You recognize the coach. I mean, he was, you just, from his hand motions to his words, to his body movement, to then walking towards you. So it was a really nice job. And as soon as you did this, I was like clapping in my seat. I'm like, I love it. Now you could have did it, just to critique, I think you could have did it a little bit quicker.
Just a second or two earlier.
Yeah. Like I said, you let him get a little bit far out. I'm recognizing as soon as the coach steps on the court, once he takes a step or two towards me, I'm going towards him. And it's a brisk walk towards him. Yeah. It's not like you're
just show some urgency right there.
And it shows you're running the show. He's not running the show. By allowing him to come on the court, he's running the show. Yep. Coach, I'd be happy to talk about this play. Follow me, please. You're on the court. Let's go back to your coaching area. Thank you very much, coach. Now, coach, talk to me. You're raising your arms. You're doing a lot of shouting. Please talk to me. Go ahead. And then he's going to calm down a little bit. Also, I like to say, when these coaches, they're so animated with their hand movements, that's another form of showing us up, right? They're demonstrating what the play was, but it looks terrible. He's out here like doing hit signals and kick ball signals. So what I like to say is, coach, speak to me with your words. Use your words. Don't use your arms. Oh, I know. I'm just animated. I get it. It. And let's just speak. Let's use our words. Then you bring them down to that calming state. Now you guys are just going back and forth with words versus emotion and, these loud hand movements.
Yeah, he was very vocal the whole game, especially toward the end here.
Yes, we'll get to that. So that was great. But I think there's something else after. Let's see how.
There's a situation with the assistant coach.
Oh, that was it. What? That was it. That was a T, bro.
Yeah, and we'll get to it.
I wanted to tee him from my couch.
If I'm being honest, I watched it back on tape. In the game, I never saw the assistant coach. Just being completely honest.
So obviously we know assistant coaches they don't have much wiggle room as far as the way they communicate with us. Can't really say anything, you know. You definitely can't hop up like that.
Yeah, and if you see my head, I never saw him. I never saw him come off the bench.
Okay, did you hear a little bit of noise from the bench though? Did you
I
feel
heard some noise. I heard some noise, but again, I never looked. I was worried about finding the ball.
Aha. Who cares about the ball?
Yeah.
So you were worrying about the ball, even though you heard a little bit of noise. You don't want to look over there.
I think maybe that's what it is. Just like earlier with the jump or the held ball play. I'm too worried about finding the ball. And when I was going back through this, when you sent it to me, I look at this and I'm like, wow, he's on the court. So, I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, and this is a clear-cut technical foul on the coach, on the assistant coach. It's just, it couldn't get much simpler than this, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to get up and shout and walk on the court. Easy one. And I probably wouldn't even say anything to the head coach, although you're going to walk by him and he's probably going to say something. I would just say, Coach, please control your bench. I would not mention one word to the assistant directly. I don't talk to assistants directly unless it's a friendly conversation after a timeout or something like that, small talk. Or, if they have a question. But if I have an issue or I need to address the assistant coach, I do it indirectly and directly through the head coach.
Right. Yeah, this is, like you said, this is easy if I would have seen it, if I would have turned my head.
But you have to want to turn your head, though. You have to get a sense that, all right, I heard something. Let me see what's going on. Instead of just avoiding looking over there and then allowing all that to go on. And these AAU games are tough, too, because it's not regulation style. The coaches are not certified coaches, although I don't know if you can get certified as a basketball coach. I hope you can. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not college coaches. They don't know the rules. Not that college coaches know the rules. But they know more. But, they're bringing this kind of playground behavior sometimes that we have to deal with, which I like because once we go in a real game, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah,
in a real game, you don't deal with this stuff nearly as often.
And when you do, it's simple because you've had those reps in the dirt. Like, these games are the dirt. That's where you really, really grow from. So get out of your comfort zone and don't be scared to take a risk here. Know where game management is. If you have any issues with fans or coaches, just go to game management. That's your leverage. 59-31. Here we go.
Right, and I got one word for this play.
What's that?
Ball watching. That's what it was. I was way out of my area. Just got to own my half in this case.
Yeah, patient whistle is king, right? Especially when you're the secondary official. You got to give the lead the first crack. It's right in her wheelhouse, right in her primary. If she decides to pass, if you feel like you're 1,000%, you're in great positioning, and you come with that cadence whistle. But just like, listen, we've all done it where I forget the name when your partner blows the whistle and then you like immediately like an echo whistle. We've all had like those echo whistles. But we're just slowing you down here. No need for you to even participate on this play with a whistle.
Yeah, just 1 second later. And obviously she's right on it. So.
And I like to take maybe one step towards the play when I'm calling maybe in the paint from trail. I don't like running. I don't like too much movement, but maybe one step towards the play, show a little bit more strength as your fist is up in the air. Something to think about. just maybe a little bit added presence. But secondary whistles should be cadence whistles. They should come a second or two later than a primary. It should sound a little bit different. Primary whistle should sound a little bit different than a secondary. Maybe a double tweet.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And you've talked about, I forget the numbers, but when you come out of your primary, the numbers go way down, as far as accuracy.
Sure.
So just recognizing that. And like you said, you got to be 1,000% if you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. 101.50.
Yeah, this is, like we've been talking about the whole session, staying engaged.
It looked like a good get for a two-person game.
They got to stretch from the lead sometimes.
What was the, let's see, what do we say here? Do your best to stay in line with the ball. Okay, so yeah, remember in lead, when the ball's strong side, for the most part, we want to be in line with the ball.
Right, because I don't have the best look necessarily here. If I take another step out, a couple, step or two out wide, I'm going to be looking through the play.
So you're going to adjust here. You're going to get a little bit wider here once the ball crossed the basket line. You were doing a good job here closing down the beat position when the ball was opposite, but now that it's kicked back over here, we got to reposition adjust. So get a little bit wider. Good get there. Again, take a step towards the play. You kind of did, but since there's such distance between the play and you, I would just like to close down one or two steps with the fist in the air, showing that presence.
Gotcha.
I don't like giving the coach 4 years. I don't think he deserves 4 years. I think 2 is good.
Mm-hmm.
And, unless you're meeting with both coaches at the same time. But I don't know. You can handle this conversation, no? She can handle it.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're showing him too much attention. We just had to walk him back to his box, and now he gets a platform. That's what we've given him, a platform to complain more.
Right. I was.
And like
right now, kind of
stop.
walked out of his box.
Coach, yeah, you're not in the box. Look what he's doing now. He's grabbing his arm. Coach, Please use your words. Say it to him like that, like they're a child. Coach, use your words. Please stop. We're not talking about the play. If I'm you right now, I'm not talking about the play. Coach, please stop grabbing your wrist. Thank you. Now, tell me about you know what I'm saying? Just looks better. He's just playing the victim role. He's making calls. He's showing more signals than us.
He's talking about a couple of no calls.
Look at now he's doing the uphold, the pull up hold.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that a hook and hold?
And he's making stuff up.
And then with his hands out, like, come on, stop with the hands. And again, what are we doing? We're still letting them talk? Then now his players got to pull him back. So take me through that moment. What were you guys talking about?
So there was a couple of series of no plays, I believe, on white number 7. He maybe he went to the ground a couple of times.
Series of no plays?
Nope. Excuse me, no calls.
I thought you had some new terminology. I'm like, oh, okay, you got some new.
I was inventing stuff just like he was inventing calls, but
there you go.
But no. Anyway, we were talking about that, and I forget. Maybe Kylie was in. It was in her primary. I'm not sure why she came over. But he was saying this stuff. My guy's going in, and he's getting hit by 4 defenders. Blah blah blah.
4 people.
Yeah. And he said, you can't keep saying the same excuse. Okay, we missed it.
Did you tell him you missed it?
No.
Good.
And nobody said that. And that's what she was telling him in the moment, is that, Coach, we didn't say that. And I don't know. He just wanted to demonstrate. So again, I don't know why we gave him the ear, like you said. But he just wanted to complain. He's not talking about a play or asking a question.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, in high school too, we have that warning. We have the official warning we can give. Did you guys think about maybe giving a warning?
We talked about it after the game. Did we talk? Yeah, we talked about maybe we could have addressed it differently. We probably should have been on him earlier, and addressed it earlier before it got to that point. But
I mean, these are the discussion we're having. It's not easy. I'm not, I'm not telling you, oh, it's so easy. This is all you got to do.
Yeah. Well, there's no black and white with this stuff.
Yeah, and especially on the AAU level too, where like we're just gonna have a little bit less tolerance, for that kind of stuff. All right, we got one more here. Timeout or foul, 111. This is really good, man. Appreciate it. As much as I want to help you, you're helping me as well. That's how this thing works. That's why
It's great stuff, man.
That's why I say, I know you're young, but try to get officials that are maybe your peers or a little bit younger than you, and start teaching them this stuff. You start teaching because you're teaching yourself. When you're developing others, you're developing yourself. It's just next level. It's next level growth. So
yeah.
Do you have a small circle of officials that you're trying to groom? I mean, I know you're young still, so.
Yeah, I've got a couple of, around my age, and then I've got one guy in particular that I know I convinced him to start trying it next season. So he's going to go out to the meeting when they have it, and seems to be really passionate about it. So when the time comes, and when he starts working some games, then we'll be able to talk about stuff. Sure.
And
so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and I know you're only 4 years in, and there's no like right time when to start like giving back and start mentoring. I'm not saying like first year officials should be trying to teach others, but like once you get a little bit of confidence and you're obviously there now, you can start like find somebody who just got out of the class. Find a first year official. Like you can help them out. You can help second, third year officials, even if you're just the camaraderie itself is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've already I've put him on your podcast.
Good stuff.
And the YouTube channel. He likes the basketball shop stuff with the signals and all that. So yeah, just kind of getting his feet wet.
All right, we got one more play to look at here. I wrote timeout or foul. Okay, so you were about to call jump ball?
I had my fist. I see the fist here, so did I have a foul?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so you had a foul. Your partner had a timeout. We want to go with the timeout in most cases, right, if it happens first.
Right.
But in that case where we do have two conflicting calls, it just looks good when the partners get together. Partner, I'm 100% there was a timeout called before your whistle. We're going to go with the timeout, okay? And then, but just to get together, because I'm sure it'll raise some antennas and maybe some confusion, because you might have a coach say, oh, you had a foul. What do we have? What do you got? She's got a timeout. So just with the officials getting together, adding that extra layer of information and clarity for the game.
Absolutely. And I do believe we made eye contact on this, and I nodded my head like, yeah, I got you. But I see what you're saying.
Again, AAU setting, I understand it's going to be a little more naturally nonchalant. You're going to communicate. In this game, do you guys have to get in a close proximity to discuss this play? No. But we're giving you good habits for real games.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that was great, man.
Dude, I love it.
That was awesome. So just want to give you an opportunity to ask any kind of follow-up questions. Did you have any other questions kind of leading into our session? Could be general referee questions or about the game.
Just that's what I came in wanting to talk about was just court presence, appearance, and confidence, and how to go about, building that appearance up. So I think we talked about a lot of that stuff. I think we answered those questions, being engaged, closing down and lead, slowing down my signals a little bit,
Yep.
A little better communication with my partners. All that's going to add to a little more believability and a little more confidence and court presence. So
yeah, and reps. It's
yeah,
a lot of this stuff is just experience and time spent. So like, keep. I don't know what your situation is in your state. You guys still got games?
man, it's kind of, it depends. I'm going to Nashville Labor Day weekend, but not a lot of stuff in Mississippi. There's been an ordinance out. We can't have a lot of large gatherings, and we actually had a tournament that got shut down because of that. So,
Are you literally hopping on planes to go ref AAU games?
dude, no, I just drive. It's about 5 hours to Atlanta, and maybe 4.5 to Nashville. I just want to get the reps.
That shows a lot, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not a lot of refs that would do that, and I'm talking about like hungry, dedicated refs that wouldn't do that. So that's a notch on your belt, man. That's something that you should be proud of and take pride in, because that just shows ultimate commitment. I'm not driving 5 hours to an AAU game.
Yeah,
but the fact that you are is a major strength.
Well, it just, when I'm learning all these things, from you and from other people, I really want to go and be able to implement them. So that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And so, I'm really, like, I'm breaking even with my pay and hotel fees.
I love it, man. It's not about the money. It's just this is what we love, It's really.
I can't pay to learn, I can't pay to get the reps and the implementation. That's worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I'm not making a lot of money doing that, that's just what I want to do. So
it's sacrifice, it's taking control of your own career. We're independent contractors, so basically this is your business. You're a basketball referee entrepreneur, so to speak. So you got to take control of your own career. A quick example, like in 2015, I wasn't getting enough film, or I think I went to a camp, and it was like one of the first times I saw myself on film, and it was like eye-opening. I'm like, what have I been doing this whole time? I've been reffing in the dark. I've been blind. If you don't watch film, you're blind. You're a blind referee, because you don't know what you did. You don't know. You got to validate stuff, man. I'm not saying like validate plays. I know you hear a lot. Don't just watch your film to validate plays. But you got to validate your performance. If you don't, then how do you know how you did? So anyway, I was really inspired by the film that I saw, but and that was during the summer. When it came to the regular season, I had no film to watch. I had no games. And I'm like, damn, I just made college, but I was, the JUCO games really weren't available at the time. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Not watch film? Let me ideate. I bought a camera. I went to Best Buy, bought a camera. Who's going to film me? I don't know. Just buy the camera and figure that out. Who's going to film you? I asked my wife, brought her one game. She lasted one game because of the abuse from the fans.
Yeah.
But whatever, that was cool. My wife retired as my camera woman. What did I do? I paid my friend. Half of my game fee. I made $82 in the game. I paid him $40. I drove him there and drove him home to come film me on my own personal camera. I had a personal cameraman that came to my low-level freshman, JV, JUCO games. Man, what a decision. It was just a great decision by me. Because like I just took control of my own growth, and I got to watch so many of my games I would have never watched. I'm sitting here watching sixth grade AAU games or freshman basketball games. Which referee brings their own cameraman to tape a freshman basketball game?
Yeah, nobody.
So I would do that, and then I would go home and take out my notepad and track the entire game, similar to game notes, similar to the IPR, what I'm doing now with you. It all started. So that's actually kind of cool. It's kind of full circle of the story. You know, this IPR kind of all started with you know, me getting that camera and having access to all that film. I probably watched like 60 of my games when I was doing JV ball. Like, that's accelerated growth. And I gave myself an opportunity to grow through film work. And yeah, I mean, I took a little hit financially, but I wasn't really concerned about paying my friend $40, because guess what? I got to go home that night and watch myself in full HD, you know, up close, you know, like I'm calling a foul and he's walking me all the way to the table with the camera focused on my presentation. So like, I really got some good reps in there trying to break it down. So, you got to get creative, man. You got to take control of your own pathway. And that sounds like what you're doing. So I want to commend you for it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I had a similar experience when I started watching film. It just, you know, I go out there and do it, and I'm not watching film and I'm not getting any better. And then I see some film of myself and I'm like, wow, you know, there's a lot of things that, did I really do that? Do I really run like that? Did my shirt looks like that untucked? Got the neat tux, by the way.
Tux, good plug there. How you doing, Mike Ori?
But anyway, yeah, this film is transformative, man. And just, you wouldn't, I mean, you know, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, so keep doing what you're doing. Try to watch as many games as you can. You know, the fact that you can go ref a game and then go watch it and then rinse and repeat. That's how you ascend. Especially with the mindset that you have, you know, and everything you got going on for you with your youth and your dedication to the craft.
Yeah, and I won't keep you too much longer. I'm just curious. What's your situation like? You have a lot of games?
No, I had an opportunity to work 2 weekends in Connecticut. New York has no games right now. Although gyms are opening August 24th. So I think that is a step towards, like, you know, sports facilities. Connecticut tournaments, they had like a 4-week run of games. I don't know anything further. I think the state allowed them like 4 weekends. I heard there might be dates in September. I did hear New York has like tentative dates in September. We don't know anything though. I don't know anything. So I don't speculate. I just sit and wait. And when it's time, like, I'm just sitting and waiting and trying to stay as sharp as I can. And I'm completely unaffected emotionally by the lack of games right now, because I'm making that choice to not let it affect me. I mean, I could sit here and get upset and say, yo, something I love has been taken away from me, both on the court and off the court. You know, I have a referee podcast. There's no games right now. Like, that's a little bit of a weird spot, you know, but I'm not letting it affect me, because what happens is out of our control, but how we respond to it is 100% within our control. So I'm fully prepared. You know, I put up a post a couple days, like, get your mind right to where if we don't have a season, you're not broken. I talked to some refs and they're like depressed, and I don't know, man. It's all about perspective. I'm very grateful to be alive. I'm very grateful to have a family and have a lot of love in my life. And when you have that perspective and those filters, everything else is small.
Yeah.
We'll get back on the court. You know, hopefully it's in January, or hopefully it's this season.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to do what we got to do. You know, we can watch film, we can talk about it, we can do this, and still stay sharp, you know, even if we're not on the court. So,
you know, I just envision that return. I envision like those first games back, and I envision myself hopefully being better than ever.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? I don't know. Without any games, I don't know. But like, you know, fitness and the rule book and plays and just being around the game. But like, I have a good feeling. There's going to be opportunity for people when we come back. So like, yo, be ready to like explode out of the gates.
Absolutely. You know, just be physically, you know, stay in shape, be sharp on the rules, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We'll be ready.
Yep, definitely. And happy to help you along the way. Anytime you need me, you know, my door's always open. So feel free to, you know, if you want to send me more plays that you clip, that'd be great. And
Yeah, you posted something on Instagram. I forget what you called it, but you wanted to, just short vertical clips of plays.
Oh yeah. I want to. Did you see Instagram Reels just came out?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a TikTok competitor, and I wasn't really heavy on TikTok because there's not a lot of referees on it. So I think this is a kind of a good opportunity. But anyway, I want to start highlighting a new segment called Great Call Ref. And I just simply want to put up a 15-second clip of a referee making a great call. And I want to highlight the referee, and that's it. Just like we would watch a highlight of a player. I want there to be positive highlights of referees. I'm tired of being sent, plays that are exposing, incorrect calls from referees. It's part of the game. And I want to highlight the positives. So yeah, if you're just watching a game, send me one of your plays. Like, it doesn't have to be, I started with the NBA just because I've been watching it lately, but obviously want to get an assortment of referee talent from various levels. So I could really use the audience's help in clipping plays, whether you want to do one of yourself or if you see another official that made a great call, send it my way.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do.
All right, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I appreciate you doing this. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Had learned a lot, so again, we're just looking forward to your new content and just thankful.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs podcast. Serve the game.